Hey everyone. In a previous rant, I covered what weak leadership looks like when your team members bring something up to you, when they need some help or need you to work on something on their behalf. It also works the other way when something comes down, instruction, direction, objectives come down from your boss, and weak leaders fail to lead their teams to accomplish the objective. Hey, it's Andrew again, and by now you all know the drill. It's another leadership fail. This time it wasn't one of my own personal ones, like I've been sharing recently, but this was one of the clients that I happened to be consulting for. Taking apart these failures, and on occasion some of these successes, is one of the ways that we've taken to dive deep into the fundamentals of leadership, and we've used that practical experience to help you all become better leaders, without having to experience it yourself. In the previous segment, I asked if any of you had leaders that constantly avoided making those tough decisions, and it was a trick question, since by definition, leaders make those decisions. At the same time, leaders are called on to achieve objectives, to deliver, to make things happen. When I ask leadership students what happens in the case when your manager, your boss, or someone higher mandates a change that affects you and your team, and you defy it or you choose to ignore it, what happens? And everybody jumps up, oh, me. Normally the answer is, you get fired. And it's true, you get fired. It's clear to see, and if they can tell what happened, yeah, you're pretty much gone. Other times people think they can get away with kind of a slow form of defiance, friction, and maybe nobody will notice. Maybe. But I remember working as a consultant for this large global firm, again, almost 20 years ago, and helping them develop their compliance and governance in a completely unrelated field. But I was there, and the national office I was working for was undergoing a reorg. And the IT department didn't seem to be complying with the new direction. What I thought of the direction is a story for another rant, and nobody could say for sure whether it was one person at the heart of it or whether it was a group friction. But from the head office perspective, they didn't care. You know what they did? They took the entire function and outsourced it. By the time I was wrapping up my work 6 weeks later, there was me and one director left in an entire building. 2 of us. I got a memo that said, can you please turn the lights out when you're done? Okay? At its simplest, if your team isn't going to get things done and if you're not going to hit your objectives, you got to adjust or replace your team members. And if you don't, you can expect to be the one to get replaced. So, take this rant for what it's worth as a lesson to take on. As a leader, your goal is to achieve objectives. You work through your team, you develop your team because they're the ones who are going to deliver on it, but you are the person who takes responsibility for achieving that objective. Team takes the credit, but you take responsibility. So, learn from what I learned, learn from what I saw, use that to become better leaders.